Madam, good evening. Am I audible? Madam, am I audible? Shailaja Madam garu. Hello? Hello? Madam. Okay, welcome, my dear friends. Today's our resource person, Dr. A. Shailaja Madam garu. Yesterday, Madam has clearly explained about the introduction and the types of tissues and meristematic tissues. So, Madam, please welcome and continue your lesson. Madam, please welcome and share your screen.
Okay, thank you, sir. Good evening to all.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Nana. PPT is visible? Sir, is it okay? So in the yesterday's class, in the plant anatomy, introduction is completed. So different various scientists and what is the cells and the tissue systems. So general discussion is completed in the introduction class. So today we are going to discuss that what is the shoot apex and root apex theories, shoot apex theories and root apex theories. So what is the vegetative shoot apex? See here, that is vegetative shoot apex. It is the terminal part of the shoot which is immediately above the youngest leaf primordium. See here, that is the stem. It is an organ is consisting of nodes and internodes. So in the stem we are observing the nodes and internodes. The stem segments between the nodes, that is called internodes. So an alternating system of nodes, the points at which leaves are attached. So those the points which are leaves are attached to the stem, that point is called nodes. And these are the node to node, between the two nodes, that space is called internodes. So generally, that general discussion about the shoot apex. First of all, I'm going to discuss the introduction. So in this, an axillary bud is a structure that has the potential to form a lateral shoot or branch. See here, that is axillary bud. So, an apical bud or terminal bud is located near the shoot tip and causes elongation of a young shoot. That is the apical bud. So, apical bud is also called as terminal bud. So, it is located near the shoot tip. And after that, apical dominance helps to maintain dormancy in most non-apical buds. That is the apical dominance. So lenticels, these are the structures of that permit the passage of gas inward and outward. These are the lenticels we are observing on the epidermal layer. So those are called lenticels. And a leaf scare or characteristic scare on stem axis made by leaf abscission. That is the leaf scare. Bud scales are small. These are modified and modified leaves for the protection of the leaves. So those are called bud scales. Next, we are coming to the dormant shoot apex with its protective scales is a bud. So bud scars are the scars left from the removal of bud. Next, coming to the leaf primordium. it is an immature leaf of the shoot. So immature leaf is called that is called a leaf primordium. Next, already we are discussed in the last class, that is intercalary meristem. The portion of the internodes above the node made up of actively dividing cells responsible for the elongation of the monocot stem. So that the cells are in dividing position, and these are responsible for the elongation of the monocot stem, that is called intercalary meristem. So in the last class we discussed that meristematic tissues, so those are divided on the basis of origin and on the basis of position. Those are discussed in the last class, that is intercalary meristem and what is that what is that apical meristem and intercalary meristem and lateral meristems. These all are types of meristems. In the last class we are discussed. See here, this is a leaf primordia. These are leaf primordia is called as primarily these immature leaf of the shoot, that is called a leaf primordia. See here in this picture is clearly seen that leaf primordia, and apical meristem is present at the tip of the shoot. Okay, that is apical meristem. So see here in this picture you observe the apical bud. What is the apical bud? This is the bud scales. This is the axillary buds. These two are called axillary buds, and the leaf scare. Okay, so bud scare. These all are mentioned here. So you observe that on the stem we are observed these type of nodes and internodes: bud scare, leaf scare, axillary buds, apical bud, bud scale. These terms are very important. Okay, so in this plant growth is up to 2 years ago. That 3 years old plant, we observed that this type of formation. Okay, so coming to the shoot apex meristem. So coming to the shoot apex organization, in different plants these shoot apex of pteridophytes and gymnosperms is different. Okay, so what is the changes we are observed that in the shoot apex organization? See here in this diagram you observe that tunica and corpus. Okay, tunica is
Madam,
the outermost
slides is
layer.
not visible, madam.
What is that?
Slides are not visible, madam.
Not visible, but sharing option is coming now.
Yes, yes, madam. Now visible.
Okay, from beginning onwards.
Yes,
Just
ma'am.
Yes, madam.
now.
Now okay, madam.
Okay. What is the current slide? Please tell me.
Shoot apex organization is the
Shoot apex organization. Okay. So next is it visible? Okay, tunica and corpus. Eleventh slide, Nana. Is it okay? Shoot apex organization 11th slide. Is it okay? Pallavi. Slides are visible or not? Please tell me. Anyone? Now it is okay?
आपके डिवाइस से उस डेटा को डिलीट ही करो। सेटिंग में जाकर गूगल पर क्लिक करो, फिर ये सेटिंग्स फॉर गूगल एप्स को बंद करके कनेक्टेड एप्स पर क्लिक करो। यहाँ पर तुम्हें वो सभी एप्स दिख जाएंगी जिनको तुमने कभी बिना लॉग आउट किए अनइंस्टॉल कर लो। इन
Okay,
एप्स
madam.
से
Continue.
आप किसी भी ऐप पर क्लिक
Okay.
करो।
So coming to the shoot apex organization, the outer group
Madam,
consisting
this is the
of
first
one or
slide.
more peripheral cell layer is known as the tunica. See here in this diagram. So you observe that the two are there, that is tunica and carpus. Which is called tunica? That the outer group consisting of one or more peripheral cells, that is layer. What is the outermost layer? It is known as the tunica. These cells divide anticlinally and gives the what is that dermatogen and epidermis, cortex. Okay, that is the tunica. And that next one is the corpus. This corpus lies below the tunica and initially has a single layer of cells. So see here in this already mentioned that where is the corpus is located. That and initially has a single layer of cells. Corpus cells divide anticlinally and periclinally. So in the tunica, that those cells are divided only anticlinally. That means perpendicular to the surface of the shoot apex. So, but in the corpus, that cells are lies in between that single layer only. These are cells. These cells are divided anticlinally and periclinally, parallel to the surface of the shoot apex. That is the corpus. See here, a shoot apical meristem is a dome-shaped mass of dividing cells at the shoot tip. See here in this dome-shaped structure. So in this, you observed in this picture that dome-shaped means this like. Okay. So in the next cells, you have observed that this is the shoot apical meristem, and these are called the leaf primordia. PPT is visible. Where is the current slide? Please tell me. Any problem?
Shoot apex organization.
Is it okay?
Okay.
Okay. So in the shoot apex of pteridophytes, we observed that growth at the apex proceeds either from one or few initial cells. These initial cells gives rise to all the cells of the apex. If only one initial is present, that is termed as the apical cell. And if more than one cell are present, they are termed as apical initials. So those initials, apical initials, we are observed in the pteridophyte members. Okay. So shoot apex of gymnosperms, we are observed that in the gymnosperms, the shoot apices of spermatophytes have shown that there is a complicated arrangement of group of cells in the shoot apex. So different in the pteridophyte, in the gymnosperms, and after that angiosperms, that different organization is there in the shoot apex. Okay. What I am telling you, you observe that primordium of shoot. So in this is a apical meristem. All are an dome-shaped structure. Okay. So but some are formed by the only single initial, and in some gymnosperms, that is a critical, and that is there is a complicated arrangement, a group of cells in the shoot apex. These group of cells are characterized by the size of the cell and the nucleus, differential staining, frequency, and orientation of cell division. Okay. So that different types of complicated arrangement is observed in the gymnosperms. Coming to the angiosperms, the shoot apex of angiosperm shows tunica corpus organization. So same like this. Okay. This is the tunica and the corpus dividing formation in we are observed in the angiosperms. Okay. So the tunica contains one or more peripheral layers of cells which divide in all planes perpendicular to the surface of the shoot apex or meristem. The corpus consists of a body of cells, several cells deep, in which the cells divide in various planes. Okay, in the tunica and the corpus, we are observed in the angiosperms arrangement. Okay, coming to the shoot apex theories. So it's very important. Several theories have been put forward from time to time to explain the structure and organization of the shoot apices. Okay, several theories are explained by the different scientists. So these organization, how that structure and organization is going on of shoot apices. Some important theories given below. See here. First one is the apical cell theory, and the second one is the histogen theory, and third one is the tunica corpus theory. These are very important for the shoot apex organization. Okay. First one is apical cell theory. See here, apical cell theory. So what I am telling, and that what is that in the pteridophytes, in the gymnosperms, different organization is there. So in the pteridophytes, we are observing that apical cell is one initial or apical initials. That is tetrahedral shape, pyramidal shape is there. Base is directed towards the surface of the apex. That type of arrangement is we are observed in the pteridophytes. And the next coming to the gymnosperms, that is surface meristem, apical initials or periclinal. So central mother cells are formed in the gymnosperms. So what is the apical cell theory? This theory put forward by Nageli. Okay, please note down these important points. This theory is given by the Nageli in the year 1858. Apical cell theory is given by Nageli. So in the last class, what is the Nageli specification in the last class? In the introduction already we have discussed that he is given one term in the anatomy. What is the terms?
Meristem.
Very good. Meristem and xylem and phloem also. Okay. So that Nageli given the apical cell theory also. According to this theory, a solitary apical cell is the structural and functional unit of apical meristems. See here, this is, you observe that the derivatives are there, apical cells are there. You observe the, so below that leaf primordium is there. This is the equisetum shoot. This is the pteridinium rhizome. Okay, so according to this theory, a solitary apical cell, you observe that is the dome shaped structure. That apical cell is the structural and functional unit of apical meristem. It was assumed that the plant body arises from this single cell and its derivatives. Such a single cell occurs only in higher algae, bryophytes, and some pteridophytes, but not in higher plants. Okay, the plant body arises from this single cell. Remember this, it's very, very important. According to this theory, a solitary apical cell is there, that is the structural and functional unit of apical meristem. It was assumed that the plant body arises from this single cell and its derivatives, such as a single cell occurs only in higher algae, bryophytes, and some pteridophytes, but not in higher plants. So recent investigations also showed that different parts of the plant body in higher plants originate independently. So this theory is not applicable to the shoot epicels of seed plants. Okay, it is not applicable to the seed plants. So that the apical cell of pteridophyte is usually four-sided with three cutting phases. See here, so we observed that this, like the apical cell of pteridophyte is usually four-sided with three cutting phases, but in some taxa it is three-sided with two cutting phases only. Okay, that is apical cell theory. Only it is given by Nageli in the year 1858. This is the apical cell theory. All of you understood? What is the apical cell theory?
Madam, only old slide is visible, madam. Cell theory slide not visible.
Please repeat. Repeat again.
Madam, shoot apex organization slide only visible, madam.
Avuna, okay. What happened?
Yes, now change. madam. ఇప్పుడు ఎపికల్ థియరీ వచ్చింది మేడం. సెల్ థియరీ వచ్చింది.
అవునా, అదేంటి మరి? యాక్చువల్లీ
ఇంతసేపు రాలేదు మేడం, అదే ఉంది ఇంతసేపు.
ఇప్పుడు వచ్చిందా?
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
నేను ఫుల్ స్లైడ్ పెట్టేసరికి పోతున్నట్టుంది అది, మరి అర్థం కావట్లేదు. ఓకే, సో ఇప్పుడు ఎపికల్ సెల్ థియరీ ఉందా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్.
ఓకే, నెక్స్ట్ డెరివేటివ్స్ ఎపికల్ సెల్స్ డయాగ్రామ్స్ వచ్చినాయా?
అవును మ్యామ్, వచ్చింది.
ఓకే ఓకే ఓకే. సో ఫుల్ స్లైడ్స్ పెట్టేసరికి నాకు ఏం అర్థం కానట్టుంది. ఇప్పుడు ఓకేనా?
ఎస్ మ్యామ్, వస్తుంది.
Okay, so that is the apical cell theory. You understood the apical cell theory? So according to that, only one apical cell is the structural and functional unit of apical meristem. It was assumed that the plant body arises from single cell and its derivatives. Okay, so remember that, but it is not applicable that is to the shoot epicels of seed plants. Okay, after that recent investigations are done, so that it is not applicable to the seed plants. Only it is so the apical cell of pteridophyte is usually four-sided with three cutting phases, but in some taxa that is only for three-sided with two cutting phases only. That is the apical cell theory. Next, coming to this histogen theory. Histogen theory slide is visible.
ma'am.
Okay. So second theory is histogen theory. It is also for the shoot apex. So this theory was proposed by the Hans Steen. Okay, Hans Steen in the year 1868, almost 1870. Okay, so he distinguished three distinct meristematic zones in the shoot apex. See here, that is a dermatogen, plerome, and a peribulum. Okay, dermatogen, peribulum, and a plerome. Each zone consisting of a group of initials was called these histogens or tissue builder. These are called histogens. So this is that's why we are called, this is a histogen theory. It is proposed by Hans Steen. So that's why these that parts or initials were called histogen or tissue builders. The histogens arise from separate sets of the initials and have different courses of development. The major histogens found at the root and stem apices, mainly the dermatogen, it is the outermost layer. See here, the first one is the dermatogen, it is one of the wall. So this dermatogen is the outermost and uniseriate layer. Okay, coming to the peribulum, this is the middle layer. Peribulum is the middle layer, and the plerome is the central massive core. Okay, plerome is the central massive core. The dermatogen cells divide anticlinally and gives rise to the epidermis. See, remember this, very simple. Dermatogen means it gives the epidermis, outer layer, outermost layer, uniseriate, and it gives the epidermis. The peribulum forms the cortex, and plerome gives rise to the primary vascular tissues and pith. Okay, see here that peribulum is giving the cortex. Peribulum is the cortex, plerome is the central part, so that's why this giving the vascular tissues and pith. Okay, dermatogen is giving the epidermis, it is the outermost layer, uniseriate layer, it gives the epidermis. Plerome is the central, it gives the vascular tissues and pith. Peribulum, it gives the cortex. Okay, this histogen theory is inadequate to explain the shoot apex of seed plants. Because of that, in many gymnosperms and angiosperms, distinction between peribulum and plerome is absent. So that's why this inadequate to explain the shoot apex in seed plants. Okay, so what are the reasons for that? Mainly that gymnosperms and angiosperms distinction between the peribulum and plerome is absent. There is no sharp distinction between the dermatogen and peribulum. That is the second reason. And the third one is the origin of different regions from the histogens cannot be demonstrated. Okay, so that is histogen theory. Okay, according to Hans Steen, that three histogens are there, that is dermatogen, peribulum, and plerome. Dermatogen is the outermost uniseriate layer, it gives the epidermis, and peribulum is the in between 1 and 2, means dermatogen, plerome, that peribulum is the middle, that is giving the cortex. Plerome is the central part, it gives the vascular tissues and the pith. Each developed from independent group of initials, that is histogens. So those are called histogens or tissue builders. Meristems are destined from the beginning to produce certain tissues. Okay. So next. Okay, see here, this is a protoderm, ground meristem, vascular cambium, plerome, peribulum, dermatogen. The three histogens are we are observed that this is the central part. See here, this place. Okay. So this is the histogen theory. And next, coming to the tunica carpus theory. It's very important. The scientist's name and year you have to note down. So this theory was proposed by Schmidt in the year 1924 to explain the organization of the shoot apex. According to this theory, two distinct zones are there. That is, two distinct zones of tissues occur at the extreme tip of the stem. The peripheral zone tunica, and it consists of one or more layers of regularly arranged cells. The central core of the cells covered by the tunica is termed the corpus. Okay, two regions are there, tunica and corpus. According to histogen theory, three histogens are there, dermatogen, peribulum, and plerome. But according to tunica corpus, only two regions are there, tunica and corpus. No constant relationship can be traced between the particular initials of the promeristem and the inner tissues of the shoot. Two regions can be distinguished by their plane of cell division. See here, and next slide, it will shows that so pith meristem, leaf primordium, anticlinal division, two-layered tunica. See here, this is a outermost layers are tunica. The central part is corpus. See here, okay. So in the next diagram also you this pith rib meristem. So okay, tunica. Tunica is the outermost layer, and these two zones can be distinguished on the base of plane of cell division. The cells present in tunica are smaller and show predominantly anticlinal divisions. Okay, surrounds the inner cell mass. Anticlinal divisions enlarges in surface area. So see here that the cells present in the corpus are larger and show irregular divisions. So that is the difference between tunica and corpus. So inner cell mass divides in all directions, enlarges in volume. Okay. So these cells are very larger in size and show irregular divisions in the corpus. But in the tunica, that anticlinal divisions are there. That is the tunica. Okay. So surrounds the inner cell mass, anticlinal divisions, enlarges in surface area. So that is the tunica and corpus we are observed. This theory does not imply any relationship between the apical zones and subsequent formation of tissues. In this point, that the theory sharply differs from the histogen theory. Okay, the outermost layers of tunica commonly gives rise to the epidermis. See here, that outermost layer is tunica, so that's why that giving the epidermis, and other tissues like cortex and endodermis and vascular tissues may have their origin in the inner layer of tunica and corpus. So tunica outermost layer is giving the epidermis, and inner layers of tunica, so inner layers of tunica is giving the cortex and endodermis also. So vascular tissues and endodermis, some of the cells and vascular tissues have their origin from that inner layer of tunica and corpus also. Okay, the number of layers in tunica varies from species to species, and even in the same species during different stages of the development. According to Schmidt and others, these variations are due to the protochron periodicity. However, that the term tunica is somewhat is restricted term as regard to the cell division, so which is always anticlinal. Some workers suggested different terms to make it more flexible without emphasizing the flame of cell division. So what is that? According to Schmidt, this is the according to Schmidt, that tunica corpus theory is proposed. So according to Schmidt, it is proposed in 1924. According to this theory, only two regions are there, tunica and corpus. So the tunica is giving the epidermis, and below the tissues also, other tissues like cortex and endodermis also. But it is not applicable to the all. So that's why that the term tunica is somewhat, it is also restricted from the as regard to the cell division. So that's why some scientists given that what is the ideas, it is not used the term that Popham and Chan, that mantle and core for tunica and corpus respectively. So Popham and Chan, these two scientists used the terms. What is that? What according to these two scientists, that mantle and core for the tunica and corpus respectively. So tunica and corpus, instead of tunica and corpus, they will use it the terms, that is mantle and core. The mantle includes all the outer layer of the effects. Tunica is confined only to those layers of mantle which divide anticlinally. This is the tunica corpus theory. Okay, so Popham and Chan gives the use the terms, that is it is also important, mantle and core instead of tunica and corpus. This is the tunica corpus theory. Okay, so last one, last theory, theory of waiting meristem. This theory was developed by the French school Plantifold. Okay, so they recognized that three zones are there in the apical meristems based on the rate of mitotic activity. So the annuinitial and the meristem diatenti and the meristem medullare. So these three zones are there. That is the next theory. Fourth one, that zonation in shoot apex, theory of waiting meristem. Okay, this theory was developed by the French school Plantifold in the year 1947 and Bouvet also 1952. Okay, Bouvet 1952, Plantifold 1947. The theory was proposed by these two scientists. That is the theory of waiting meristem. Okay, according to this theory, they recognized the three zones in the apical meristems: the annuinitial and annuinitial, the meristem diatenti, and the meristem medullare. Okay, so annuinitial promeristem sporozine, that is it's equal to tunica, and after that carpus, meristem diatenti and the meristem medullare, these two in between that equal to carpus. Okay, that is the fourth theory actually. This is the shoot apex theory. See here in this diagrams that procambium, where is that corpus is there, tunica is there, peripheral zone. Okay, it's not clear actually. Central mother cells or this is the pith, this is the procambium. Development of shoot apex, this like. Okay, so origin of leaves. Okay, initiated by periclinal divisions at the side of the apical meristem, tunica or corpus. Origin by the tunica or corpus. Division leaf buttress affects periodic changes in shape of shoot apex. So same like that branching also, that where do branches originate? That's superficial layers, exogenous axillary buds. This is about the, see here, apical meristem. This is the leaf primordia. This is the bud primordia. Leaf, node, internode, axillary buds from here. This is a axillary meristem. Okay, see like that. This is the shoot apical meristem. This is about the shoot apex organization and shoot apex theories. It's very very important. And thank you. This is the shoot apex theories. Sir, what's the time now? Shall I continue that root apex theories also? Shalini, Prasad. Okay, it is clear that what is the shoot apex theories? Okay, next shall I start? I think 20 minutes are there.
Yes, ma'am.
So root apex theories. The PPT is visible. What is the root system? Please anyone respond. PPT is visible. It is clear. Clear ga
Yes.
unda root apex?
ఉంది మ్యామ్, క్లియర్ ఉంది.
Clear unda. Okay. see here that we are coming to the root system. So it is also that in depth that root is the already you know or that is the underground part of the plant axis. So root is usually cylindrical and non-green. It's like chlorophylls, but sometimes green, as in trapa and teniophyllum. Okay, so root is usually cylindrical and non-green. See here, whereas like the chlorophyll, that is non-green, but sometimes green, as in trapa and teniophyllum. Note this one. The growing point of the root tape is subterminal and protected by the root cap or calyptra. So unicellular root hairs present just behind the root caps, which increase the absorptive surface area of roots. See here. So what are the characteristics of features of root? This usually positively geotrophic and positively hydrotrophic. So but negatively phototropic. This is the characteristic feature of root. But root does not bear nodes and internodes, leaves or buds. That is the root character. And types of roots. Generally, you know, these are the basics on the basis of their origin. Root are following type, taproot and adventitious root and fibrous root. Three types of roots are there. First one is the taproot. On germination of a seed, the radicle elongates into primary root or true root or taproot. In dicot plants, the taproot is persistent and produces lateral roots such as secondary roots or tertiary roots, etc. That is the taproot. All lateral roots arises in a acropetal succession, that is the younger roots towards the apex and older roots towards the base. The taproot and its branches constitute the taproot system. See here in the next slide will show so that this is the taproot system and secondary roots are there. This is the primary root. Okay, so coming to the adventitious roots, there are the, see here, this is the adventitious fibrous root system. These are the roots that grow from any part of the plant other than the radicle. Okay, so in the monocot plants, the taproot is short-lived and it's soon replaced by the adventitious roots. A group of adventitious roots and their branches constitute adventitious root system. Okay, so this is the taproot system and this is the primary root and these are the secondary roots. So this is the adventitious fibrous root system. So next coming to the fibrous roots are composed a large number of roots nearly equal in size. This type of root system found in the grasses already you know. So where that grass plant you observed the in the grass plant roots, that is called a fibrous root system. Okay, so this like in the grasses we are observed that bulky roots are there. Okay, next coming to the root apex organization, it's very important. Same like that shoot apex organization. Root apex is subterminal in position because of terminal position of root cap. Root apex is a few types depending on the mode of origin of cap and the relations between the histogens and the primary tissue regions of the root proper. So actually these all are basics of the root from the 7th class onwards. I will think. Okay, so these topics all are you know very well, but in our topics that very important about the root apex organization, the following three theories are very important. These are discussed in below, that apical cell theory, histogen theory and Corper Kappe theory. Okay, same like that shoot apex theories, apical cell theory, histogen theory and tunica carpus theory, the waiting meristem theory. Four theories we learn about the shoot apex organization. Same like that in the root apex organization, that three theories are there: apical cell theory, histogen theory and Corper Kappe theory. So what is the difference between you observe? Okay, so coming to the apical cell theory, this theory was proposed by Nageli in the year 1858. According to this theory, a single tetrahedral apical cell gives rise to all tissues of the root. Okay, see here, this is the root cap, this is the apical cell. Okay, a single tetrahedral apical cell gives rise to all tissues of the root. Such a single cell was observed in the root apices of a number of vascular cryptogams. Okay, so derivative of apical cell, this is the apical cell, it gives the different tissues. Okay, so that is called a single cell. So it was observed in the root apices of number of vascular cryptogams. So this theory was holds good in the case of vascular cryptogams but fails in the case of higher plants. Okay, so this theory is very good for the vascular cryptogams but fails in the case of higher plants where a group of initials occurs in the apex. Example, Dryopteris and Pteris. Okay, that is the, see here, that is the apical cell theory. Okay, apical cell theory is very simple. Just you remind that this theory was proposed by Nageli in the year 1858. According to this theory, a single tetrahedral apical cell, it gives rise to all tissues of the root. Okay, so that is the apical cell theory. So next, coming to the histogen theory. According to this theory, it was put forward by the Hanstein. Same in the shoot apex also, Nageli and Hanstein. So in the year 1868. According to him, the root apex shows 3 initiating regions called the histogens. Okay, thus that 3 initiating regions are called histogens. The histogens are called dermatogen, peribulum and plerome. In the shoot apex also, we are observed that 3 regions, that is epidermis, dermatogen, peribulum and plerome. Okay, so that, so these histogens, the dermatogen gives rise the epidermis, the peribulum gives to the cortex and the plerome to the vascular cylinder. Already we learnt in the shoot apex theory that the histogen theory same like that. 3 histogens are there, the tissue builders that we are called histogens: dermatogen, peribulum, plerome. Dermatogen is the outermost layer and uniseriate, it gives the epidermis. And the same like that, peribulum, it giving cortex and the plerome to the vascular cylinder. In the dicots, there are 3 groups of initials. Peribulum and plerome have separate groups of initials, whereas the dermatogen and root cap arise from the common group of initials. See here. So in the dicotyledons, same like the 3 initials are there. Peribulum and plerome has the separate groups of initials, whereas the dermatogen and root cap arise from the common group of initials. So Gutenberg is called, this group of initials are dermatocalyptrogen. Okay, it's very, very important. Who? That Gutenberg. Okay, Gutenberg is 19 in the year 1960. He's called, this group of initials are called as dermatocalyptrogen. Okay, dermatocalyptrogen. In the monocots, the dermatogen and peribulum show a common origin from a group of initials. The root cap has its own group of initials is called calyptrogen. Only the root cap is formed by the initials, that is called calyptrogen. Okay, so in the monocots, dermatogen and peribulum show a common origin from a group of initials, but the root cap has its own group of initials, that is called calyptrogen. Remember this. Okay, Gutenberg is given the term dermatocalyptrogen. So in the monocots, we are observed that initials, that dermatogen and peribulum show a common origin from a group of initials, but that root cap has its own origin, own group of initials, that is called calyptrogen. Remember this is very, very important. And histological organization of root and shoot apex. See here. So shoot apical meristem, peripheral zone, central zone, and okay, it's not clearly visible. Next, third one is the Korper-Kappe theory. So it was put forward by D. Schupp. Okay, it is given by Schupp in the year 1917. This theory is Schupp, Schuepp, Schupp. Okay, so in the shoot apex theory, that tunica corpus theory is given by Schmidt. But here, the root apex Korper-Kappe theory is given by the Schupp, D. Schupp, in the year 1917. So this theory, according to this theory, is comparable with the tunica and corpus theory of the shoot apex. Same like that, here also According to this theory, the cells at the root apex divide in two planes. That is, the first division is transverse and one of the daughter cells. Then divided by a longitudinal divisions. The sequence of divisions was called T divisions. Okay, one is the anticlinal and one is the longitudinal. What type of division? That is T shaped is coming. So that's why that because of the cell walls from a configuration resembling the letter T. Okay, that he differentiated two zones in the root apex, that the T was straight on the center of the root, whereas in other regions this T is inverted. Okay, inverted T. These two zones of root apex is delimited by the T and cancel inverted T were named as Corper and Kappe or respectively. Okay, these in the root apex we are called Corper and Kappe. Corper means body and Kappe means cap. These are respectively, these were named. Okay, after the divisions of one anticlinal division and one longitudinal divisions, it coming that in this region the T is formed, but here the T is inverted. The second division takes place in the upper daughter cell. So that's why that we are called, these two are in the root apex, delimited by the T and inverted T. These were named Corper. Corper means body and Kappe means cap. These respectively. Okay, this type of demarcation between T and inverted T is possible only in some cases of grasses. Example, Gia maize. But in others, such a boundary is often obscure. Okay, so that obscure. This is the Corper Kappa theory. See here, endodermis, steel, and cortex. So root cap, inverted division. See here, this is the inverted division. This is the first one. This is the calyptrogen. Okay, calyptrogen. From the calyptrogen, that root cap is formed. That is, you remember that. So inverted division is there and straight division is there. That T is this is the T shaped division, upper place, and below that this is the inverted T division. Okay, so this is the that these were named as Corper and Kappe respectively. Okay, see here. So apical meristem, growing point, this root cap, calyptra, region of elongation. These root hairs are formed like this. Okay, this is the root tip. So next, coming to the root hair. Okay, developed from the epidermal cells away from the root tip, increasing the surface area available for water and mineral absorption. Already you know what is the function of root. It is absorption for the water and the mineral absorption. So epidermis functions in the uptake of water and minerals. Large surface area facilitates uptake. Okay, so see here, this is the epidermal cell wall, cell membrane, cytoplasm. This is a full grown root hair. Okay, in the root hair we are observed that this like a root hair is beginning to grow out. Okay, this like root hair is coming from here. This is the space. Black spots are for the growth of root hairs. So this is the nucleus. Tissues of root. Root tissues can be regarded as a series of concentric rings of different tissues. See here. This is the root structure. What is the in the root structure? We are observed that xylem, phloem. This is the epidermis, and after that cortex. Okay, below the epidermis, that cortex is there, and endodermis and pericycle. Okay, so these are the root hairs. Already you know this is a primary structure of the root. And next, coming to the epidermis, single layer of cells on the exterior of the root, not covered with a cuticle. Okay, so we are not observed the cuticle in the root structure. Root is designed for the water uptake. Cuticle is a barrier to water, so that's why cuticle is absent in the root structure. The cortex, comprised of a large undifferentiated cells, functions in the storage of food reserves in root tissues. Okay, that is the cortex. And next, coming to the endodermis, it is a single layer of cells outside vascular system. Spaces between the cells are covered with a waxy layer. It's called suberin. This is very, very important. So what are the spaces in between the cells? These are covered with a waxy layer. That layer is called suberin. It is present in the endodermis. Okay. Blocks passage of water and dissolved nutrients into the vascular system. Endodermis functions to regulate the uptake of water and nutrients into the plant. That is the endodermis function. There is a single layer. Okay. Next, coming to the pericycle, a thin layer of undifferentiated cells. A meristem tissue that the source of the new lateral or secondary roots surrounds the vascular bundles. So that is the pericycle. See here, this is the epidermis, root hair, primary xylem, primary phloem, vascular cambium. Endodermis is red color. Okay, round red color is endodermis. Below the endodermis, the pericycle is there. Okay, yellow color cells are cortex. The next, coming to the vascular tissue, this is already you know, that is the transport system. Phloem, living cells comprised of sieve tube elements and companion cells. That is the phloem. And coming to the cambium, a meristematic tissue supplying the cells that will develop into vascular structures. That is the cambium. So xylem, dead cells with thickened cell walls, typically larger than the phloem cells. That is the xylem. And what is the monocot root? Differentiation. So central part, that stellar part, you observe that some differences are there. This is the monocot root, this is the dicot root. Okay, what are the changes are there? You observe that. See here. So elongation zone and maturation zone. See here, internal structure of root. So what are the functions of the root? Anchoring of the plant to the soil, absorption of water and nutrients from the soil, conduction of observed water nutrients to stem, storage of food, vegetative reproduction, and competition with other plants. Okay, these all are of the functions of the root. This is about the shoot apex theories and root apex theories. Thank you. Sir, are you there?
Okay, madam, thank you. Is there any doubt, my dear friends, regarding of these theories? These theories are most important in all competitive exams in plant sciences, especially plant anatomy, estrogen theory, and other theories, corpus cappe. So these theories are most important related to the shoot apex and even though the root apex theories, and also the structure of the different structures of the
If you have any doubts, please ask me about the shoot apex theories or root apex theories.
Prasad, Harish, Shalini, Shashireka, Mallaya. Okay, madam, thank you very much.
Okay, sir.
So,
Thank you for
your
giving this
presentation is
opportunity.
wonderful. PPTs are very useful and very clear. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.